Alright guys, we got a comparison today for the Galaxy Note 10 Plus versus the S10 Plus. So two older flagships. If you're in the market for an older flagship, which phone do you get here? So let's go ahead and get right into it. We have to start off with the price here because the Note 10 Plus is going to cost you around 400 bucks, and that is in the used refurbished marketplace. I buy majority of my older flagship used and refurbished, and the S10 Plus is going to cost you about 300 bucks, and I got this one from a guy. He gave it to me really cheap. But yeah, so I'll have those links down below for you guys. So Note 10 Plus is going to be slightly more expensive here. So let's go ahead and actually talk about the hardware on both of these phones. So they both have premium designs. I really like how both of these phones have aged design wise. I think the Note 10 Plus overall I think looks a little bit better to me than the S10 Plus. But what do you guys think? Be sure to let me know down below. And they both have IP68 dust and water resistant on them. They're both glass and metal devices, and actually the Plus is much smaller device than the, well, not much, but it's just definitely a smaller and lighter device than the Note 10 Plus here. I really love the psychedelic shifting colors on the Note 10, and also the S10 Plus just doesn't show fingerprints, which is something that I really love as well, this color specifically, so that's always something I appreciate. Now let's go ahead and talk about the displays. So on the S10 Plus, we do have a 6.4-inch display. It's a dynamic AMOLED HDR10 Plus, full 1440p display, or 2K 522 for the PPI. And then the Note 10 Plus actually has a massive display at 6.8 inches, 1440p 498 for the PPI, dynamic AMOLED HDR10 Plus as well. The displays pretty much look identical as far as quality and resolution wise. Where we see the difference is with size, but we also notice a difference with the display design. So we have a more boxy shape on the Note 10 Plus, and then we have a more curvy type of shape on the S10 Plus. Also, I think that, you know, obviously the design on the Note 10 Plus, I think it aged better because Samsung never went back to the double punch hole design. So that pretty much tells you which phone people preferred, or which design people preferred. So as far as display quality, they both look extremely good. And like I said, I would say I would go with the Note 10 Plus as far as content consuming, because the double punch hole, it's not distracting once you get used to it, but like I said, I just like the look of the Note 10 Plus display. So they're both great displays, but I would say the Note 10 Plus definitely looks better to me. Now let's talk about performance. So these phones pretty much perform pretty much the same. They both are going to be eligible for the Android 12 update. They both are going to get 3 years of security patches afterwards. They both have the Snapdragon 855 chip. The Note 10 Plus has 12 gigs of RAM. The S10 Plus have 8 gigs of RAM, so you do get a little bit more storage, or I mean RAM, on the Note 10 Plus as far as the base models go. They both have micro SD card support. The base model starts at 256 gigs on the Note 10 Plus, and the base model here starts at 128 gigs, but this is a 256 gig as well. You can find the 256 gigs pretty easily for that $300 price point. As far as speed, we shouldn't see really too much of a difference here. They're both pretty much on par with each other, so it's no realistic difference here. Both of these phones are going to play extremely well when it comes to gaming. I will drop a full gaming test for the Note 10 Plus. I have one for the S10 Plus if you guys want to check that out. But as far as just opening applications, performance wise, these two phones are still extremely fast. They're still going to give you that top-notch blazing fast flagship performance here. And we'll just check out gaming real quick. Open PUBG. I was saying, as far as gaming performance, like I said, no difference. You know, whichever one you decide to go to, you will be able to play PUBG at high settings, extreme FPS, really minimal to no lag, honestly. These phones are very fast when it comes to your gaming performance, so you're just not gonna have an issue there. And these phones really don't get hot, so I love the Snapdragon 855 chip. Now the new Snapdragon 888 chips, those phones, you just, as soon as you hop in PUBG, it doesn't get hot, but it gets warm. That's the one thing I noticed with the 888 chip. So hopefully they fix that with this new chip coming, because most phones with the 888 chip, there's a lot of complaints about those phones getting kind of hot. All right, let's talk about the features. So as far as getting into the phone, you both have very fast fingerprint scanners on both of these phones here. They are basically the tap fingerprint scanners that work very well. You just tap it. It's not one of those ones that you have to tap and hold. You also have face unlock on both of these phones as well. Where you get into the real difference is the main differences, which are very important, is do you want the stylus, you know, to be able to navigate, take notes, you can do digital artwork, etc., blah blah blah. But one thing that the Note 10 Plus is lacking is a headphone jack. The S10 Plus does have a headphone jack, and that is a big deal to a lot of people. So that's like the main differences with these phones as far as feature wise. The headphone jack, believe it or not, is a pretty big deal to some people still. It just varies on what's important to you. If you're one of those people that don't really care about using a stylus, or you don't do digital artwork, or you don't, you just don't care about it, then the S10 Plus, you might care about that headphone jack a little bit more. But as far as all the other features, both of these phones have NFC. They both have the Samsung desktop support. They both have the Dolby Atmos. They both have secure folders. Wireless power sharing is on both of these devices as well too. So if I go ahead and if I want to use both of these devices to charge a pair of earbuds or be able to charge another phone or something like that, I can do that. So all of your little bells and whistles are there. The real difference really, it comes down to, do you want to use the stylus or not? Let's go ahead and check out these speakers. They both have stereo speakers. Let's go ahead and see if we can hear a difference here. Alright, so both speakers actually sound identical, so they both actually are very loud and pretty much sound the exact same. So I can't tell any type of difference as far as sound quality and loudness. So both of them are great sounding speakers. So alright, let's go ahead and talk about image quality in the camera. So on the Note 10 Plus, we have a quad camera setup. It's a 12 megapixel standard, a 12 megapixel telephoto, does 2x optical zoom, 16 megapixel ultra wide, and then we have a 0.3 depth sensor, and then we have 4K video at 60 frames, 10 megapixel selfie, 4K at 60. The Note 10 Plus is going to give you some excellent shots. Just for an older flagship phone, you really cannot say that these photos are not good. They still have plenty of detail, very good colorful color signs as well too. The ultra wide takes really good shots as well too, and having that depth sensor is a really nice addition as well. This phone does a really good job with focusing. Also for the S10 Plus, it pretty much takes the same type of photos as the Note 10 Plus. I really could not tell a really big difference. The difference here is that we don't have that TOF depth sensor on the S10 Plus, but it's a 12 megapixel standard, 12 megapixel telephoto, also does 2x optical zoom, 16 megapixel ultra wide, and then we have 4K 60. And then the difference, with the front facing cam is that we have a 10 megapixel selfie, and then that 8 megapixel wide selfie. So you do have that extra selfie for like group shots and stuff like that. So that camera can be, helpful if you take a lot of those type of photos. But as far as image quality, you're getting very good cameras on both of these older flagship phones. Alright, let's talk about the battery life experience. So I have had better battery life on the Note 10 Plus. It has a slightly bigger battery, but really not by much since it has a bigger display. I didn't think I would get, better battery life, but I don't know. It could be just the battery life on my S10 Plus, but it's not bad by any means. But I noticed that my Note 10 Plus does a better job with standby time and stuff like that. So the specs are 4100 milliamp battery on the S10 Plus, 15 watt charging, wireless charging at 15 watts, and then reverse wireless charging at 4.5. The Note 10 Plus, 4300 milliamp battery, and this has way better charging speeds at 45 watts for the fast charger. So this charges super fast, the Note 10 Plus. That's one thing that I absolutely love. So even if you drain it, it still charges up fast. So it's not a huge deal. It also has the 15-watt charging and 4.5 watt reverse wireless charging. So my battery experience has been slightly better on the Note 10 Plus for me. So what do you guys think? Which phone would you guys buy? Be sure to let me know, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.